There is such a great need to spend time, just like with your children, just like with your wife, on your health. Life is precious. I mean, that's a cliche. I know it is, but damn it, it's precious.
We were, like every family, very busy.
It was a busy life. I think the unfortunate thing of not only my life, but a lot of people's lives, is that health becomes a second issue. Health wasn't something that I dwelled on as a younger person. I ran around like everybody else and did everything and never thought much about it until I had my first event at 40 years old. We were gonna go out, and I had just come home from a hockey game. I laid down on the bed just to rest for a bit before we got ready, and the classic symptoms: pain in the chest, nauseated, pain in the back. So what did I do? I walked outside and was gonna have a cigarette. And that's when we realized that things were not going very well, and we hopped in the car and we drove to Dartmouth-Hitchcock.
At a relatively young age of 40, with relatively limited disease, I think he had single vessel disease. Stents and bypass surgery tend to have the similar outcomes, and stents are a much easier procedure to get through.
I did dedicate more of my time to my health. I was pretty religious for probably about 5 years, but unfortunately, like, life goes on, you know.
The second event was very surprising because Joe was exercising quite a bit. We had a treadmill right in our living room, and we were still eating healthy.
I was at Dartmouth College, reffing a summer league hockey game. Went to the car, sat in the car, and just profusely started sweating. Drove myself home, and then Cheryl took me to the hospital.
Because of a combination of genetics and lifestyle, Joe's disease was churning in the background. And in that situation, bypass surgery is going to provide a more complete and more durable means of restoring blood flow to the heart muscle.
This time, after open heart surgery, I really began to change things. I exercised more. Cheryl and I both watched our intake of fats and all the things that we're supposed to be sort of watching. But 20 years later,
Joe's third event was the most traumatic.
it was a hot summer day in August. Cheryl got in her car, started down the hill. I got into my car, and again, it was hot. And I sat there for a second, and I thought, I feel dizzy. And I looked in my side view mirror, and I saw Cheryl coming back down the driveway. I got out of my car, and it's about the last thing I remember.
I started to go to him to tell him I forgot my phone. He opened the door and just dropped in front of me.
What he suffered was an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest, and this is generally due to an electrical disturbance of the heart. If there's no one around, the mortality is 100%. It's tremendous good luck that his wife came back to get her cell phone and to start CPR, and that saved his life.
I got a third chance. Most people don't get that opportunity.
Joe received a pretty sophisticated electronic device called a cardiac resynchronization therapy defibrillator. So it's a pacemaker that paces both the right and the left ventricle, and it has a defibrillator that can deliver a shock if he goes into a cardiac arrest, and it can also pace if his heart rate goes too slow.
Knock on wood, let's hope it never goes off. I'm very impressed with Dartmouth-Hitchcock and the vascular and cardiac units. They're very responsive. It still continues to be a very cohesive team.
I'm very proud of the Heart and Vascular Center here at Dartmouth-Hitchcock. I think we have a really strong team of physicians and nurses and technologists who all work very well together to try to bring the best of modern medical care to patients.
One of the things that I hope to do, now that I'm older and, quote, retired, is to make more people aware of the dangers of not taking care of your body and your health. If I can bring awareness to 20, 30, 40-year-olds, they hopefully won't have to reflect like I'm doing right now. Life is precious.